So just at the very beginning here, it's very important to understand that one of the things I'm trying to do is to get people to learn how to put on a different set of glasses to look at reality, to look at the inner and outer reality, to begin to learn how to see inner and outer reality through a different lens. So the mystical lens, which is what we have been talking quite a bit about, points us beyond the individuated self-sense, self-experience to these deeper, non-relative, absolute dimensions of ourself, which we have begun to explore together, and which we will continue to do. But along with that, there is a kind of a philosophical. There are great human beings throughout history have endeavored to embrace a larger orientation to life and to the human experience that's based upon big ideas. And this has happened in all great civilizations. And some of the greatest contributors to the evolution of human culture and individuals, there were human beings who embraced big ideas. And then these big ideas became this fundamental lens through which they would see everything. And these big ideas, and the big ideas became the source of value. They were based upon certain perspectives that gave significance to certain aspects or dimensions of the human experience and of the human perspective. Gave certain value to more value to some things than others. But the fundamental point I'm trying to make is philosophical orientation is one where we are looking at our experience through the lens of big ideas. Big ideas have to become shared agreements. Shared agreements means we agree that such and such a big idea is a great idea, is a fantastic idea, is a fabulous idea. This big idea makes deep, profound sense and meaning and purpose out of the human experience. It's a big idea that's culturally relevant and gives direction, meaning, and purpose for the human experience. And if I embrace that big idea and you embrace that big idea, then we begin to find a way to order our experience in the context of our relatedness that makes it possible for that big idea to become these guiding principles in how the human experience is lived and expressed. And any kind of mystical insight, spiritual insight, the experience of timeless, formless being, the feeling of being, that's not going to be enough. And then as we begin to look into an evolutionary worldview, just awakening to the evolutionary impulse itself as a feeling experience of excitement, inspiration, is not enough. There has to be the big ideas that accompany the recognition of these deeper non-relative dimensions of life and reality, and the big ideas you grasp onto with your mind. Right? These deeper truths, the deeper transcendent truths, the non-relative or absolute truths, you get them at a level that transcends the mind, that exists prior to and beyond the mind, right? But these big ideas you grasp with the mind itself. And for the kind of developmental shift or transformation I'm speaking about, we have to have both. The enlightenment dimension is actually getting this at the level of experience. So you really have some measure, and different individuals have different degrees of it, you really have some measure of direct experience of these deeper dimensions of existence and of being that transcend our rational or cognitive faculties, and in this case, of the timeless and formless, deepest unborn and uncreated ground that always exists as the deepest dimension of who we are. And as we've just begun to discuss, which we've hardly gotten started with yet, the evolutionary impulse of the desire to exist in time and form, the desire to exist, when you awaken to the evolutionary impulse, it's a precognitive knowing experience of nothing less than cosmic inspiration. Do you follow? It's a precognitive knowing of cosmic inspiration. Right? It's not a rational thought. You follow? So those are, you can call them transrational. Those are transrational experiences. So the transrational, transcendent, spiritual, mystical experiences and states of consciousness. And in order to really have those kinds of experiences, the mind has to be transcended to a degree. And then there's this other dimension, which is fundamentally a philosophical orientation, we use the mind to embrace big ideas, right? And to consciously and deliberately embrace the developmental and concrete implications of what these higher states or higher domain, the experience of these higher domains, higher states and higher domains reveal to us about the nature of reality, right? And then so what we do is through a philosophical practice we begin to interpret. We slowly but carefully make the effort to interpret the meanings and significance of these deeper and higher states and dimensions of our own being, and we interpret their meaning and significance for the human experience as a whole. And as a result, we embrace big ideas with the mind. We use the mind in a very constructive way to embrace big ideas, and those big ideas become our fundamental orienting principles. And that's how we transcend the ego. Not through the experience of higher states.